Push the
It's
pod.
live. It's
Push the
live.
pod. Push the pod.
Retweet, like, send in chat. Boom. Pew.
Pushing the pod. Push the pod.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Philly!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And, of course, we have our producer behind the glass, Seamus G, chopping up the highlights, making things happen for us. You guys can check those out on YouTube or Instagram. We'll post the link on our Twitter as well, at Wolves of Broad ST. And, of course, a big shout-out to the Liberty Line Podcast Network, the only podcast network in the Philadelphia area that has the Wolves of Broad Street. So that is a huge thing for them. That's huge. It's huge for them, and
it is big for them.
Big for them. Big for them. Yeah. Just so. Speaking of big things, Sam, there's a lot of big things going on. But before we get into that, how you doing, man? You sound a little bit under the weather. What's going on,
dude? I'm like pretty sick. I don't know. Like I've been like on and off the toilet all day. Like it's been bad. Like. It's not been good. And I obviously I sound a little terrible right now, which is not great, but also I sound like a little sexy right now. I got like a little bit of a deeper voice right now.
Oh yeah.
And I can hit, like when I was in the car today, I was like hitting all these bass notes, you know, like and I felt like you.
Yeah,
I'm not a bass guy. I'm not.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. See, that's good. You see, you got to take the good with the bad. And Sam, right now, the Phillies, a lot of good, a lot of bad. Right now, things are a little better than they are good, but I know or bad. But every time we say that, things kind of go back around to where it was right before we say it. So it's an interesting thing going on with this Phillies team. How are you feeling, especially after the trade deadline, relatively quiet trade deadline compared to what a lot of people thought? How do you think that affects us? What do you think? Like, what are you seeing for this team right now?
Well, I'm optimistic so far. I mean, Kyle Gibson's first start, he was a stud. Like he pitched really well. The fastball looked great. The curveball was unbelievable. I love that. And they're on a little bit of a roll right now. I mean, they are playing the Nationals, who just unloaded their whole team. I mean, Max Scherzer and Trey Turner are both playing in LA right now. They're probably going to get a second ring because nobody's going to stop that Dodgers team, I don't think. But they're only a game and a half out of first place right now, which is unbelievable. And they just took the lead when I was watching the game on the toilet before the show. And it was they'd taken the lead after Chase Anderson let up 3 solo shots in the first 2 innings, 2 back-to-back, which is fantastic. He's a really good pitcher, man. He's so good. Oh, my God, I hate him. But
I can't believe he's pitching tonight. I just can't believe
it makes no sense. I can't believe that they wouldn't. I mean, I guess we have Nola tomorrow, so I don't know. I guess they have to try and get through another game without having like a regular starter in there. I mean, Chase Anderson, he's just coming back from getting hurt, and he was originally in the bullpen, but I guess they needed him to start after what's it called? The bullpen yesterday didn't really have any. I mean, Alvarado went in, but they had a bullpen game the game before, and so the bullpen just washed, and so they had to throw Chase Anderson out there for today. They couldn't have another bullpen game, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But they're only a game and a half out, man. They're a game and a half out.
I just, I like the few pickups, the few moves that we did make. I'm a fan of course, getting Spencer Howard out of here. Last week, I had him in the doghouse on Tuesday, and he was gone by Thursday or Friday.
Yes.
So that's the quickest doghouse to out of town turnaround, probably in Philadelphia sports history. So that feels good. That I like, but I still can't help but feel like, Uncle Dave could have done a little bit more. Granted, of course, the Phillies are famously, thin in prospects, but I still feel like we could have done something to put this team over the top. Like you said, we're only a game and a half back. It just doesn't make sense to be paying these guys all this money and not try and make a push, especially when you have the kind of talent to do that if you just get another 1 or 2 pieces. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it because obviously, the few moves we did make is great.
Yeah, do you want to know what I would have done if I was GM?
What?
I would have gotten I would have talked to literally only the Minnesota Twins. And you know what? That's not true. I would have done the trade with Texas Rangers because I love Kyle Gibson. I think he's going to be a really good addition to this squad. And Ian Kennedy, yeah, he looks like he's caught a little bit of the Phillies bullpen sickness, which is just being bad. But
Yeah.
what I would have done is I would have packaged some kind of deal with the Minnesota Twins to get Byron Buxton and Kenta Maeda, the pitcher, Japanese pitcher. I've always wanted, or I don't know if he's Japanese. I'm sorry, but I've always wanted an Asian pitcher on the team. I've always wanted just an Asian player for the Philadelphia Phillies. They're just like I love it. They play the game in a way that like it's different, but it's so good. I love it. So I think that it would have benefited them because Byron Buxton is one of the fastest guys in the MLB, and I would have loved to have Kenta Maeda on the team too because he's just a grinder. So I would have sent them like Spencer Howard and I don't know, or no, we would have done that with with Texas, but I would have dropped some prospects on them, and even like I probably would have even given up Bryson Stott to get Byron Buxton if I'm being honest, because I don't know how well he's going to pan out because our development program sucks. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that is a big issue that we have. It's like we can't draft, we can't develop players, and it just kind of feels like we're in the same position we were like 9 years ago. Like,
yeah,
we sucked for all these years, and then now the organization is just kind of like, all right, like we'll get some guys. And wasn't it in that Spencer Howard trade? Wasn't there something that helped keep them under the cap? Like there was a special trade exception used or something, so it still kept them from underneath the luxury tax. I mean,
yeah, the Rangers gave him $4 million.
yeah, which helped us stay below the luxury tax, which is just like classic Middleton, classic Phillies. Like you have this team that, for all intents and purposes, looks like it should compete. It's built to compete, and yet we're just not doing anything with it. And it's a little frustrating as a fan, even though, I may not be the most diehard baseball fan. It's hard to watch a team where not so much the players, but of course, because, you see Segura out there. Stumps was talking about that in the chat. He's great. Bryce Harper, regardless of whether or not he's getting those RBIs, he's playing well. But you have these guys that are playing well, and you just refuse to support them. So as a fan, It's hard to get behind not so much the name on the back of the jersey, but the name on the front when I care more about the outcome of this season and about the fact that we haven't been in the playoffs in the last 10 years, more so than the people that actually own and run the team. I think it's lopsided. It should never be like that. It is far too often in sports, but especially in Philadelphia, it should not be happening. Just not like this.
I know. And it is frustrating because, we would have loved to have a guy maybe like Chris Bryant or Byron Buxton or something like that. Just kind of get the fans excited again about the team. But I guess they didn't want to drop the prospects or drop the cash or whatever they needed to do to get one of those guys because they're good. And Chris Bryant went to the Giants with Gabe Kapler, which it was salt in the wound.
Dude.
Because I wanted him to play for the Phillies, and I wanted Buxton, or one of the two. But it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what they can do. I mean, they're like I keep saying, they're only a game and a half out right now, so they need to win. They need to win tonight, which is huge, and then they play the Mets this weekend, which is just it's the biggest series of the season because I think it's a 4-game series. So that is just. They need to do well. That's all. That's
they do.
I kind of think if they do not play well in the Mets series, then I think it's over. I mean, I think it's pretty much done. But
how many games do we need to get off the Mets this weekend for you to be confident in us moving forward?
At the very least 2. I mean, if we
minimum split
1.5 minimum at very minimum. I mean, we can't lose the series basically, but I think it's if they could take 3, that would be fantastic because that would put them, assuming the Mets win tonight, which I think they were winning when I last checked, and the Phillies win, they're still a game and a half out, and then they win again tomorrow, and then they go and play the Mets, then they can be 3.5 or 3 3 games or 2.5 games up against the Mets if they take that series. So
Yeah.
we'll see. It's nerve-wracking for sure, but I don't know, man. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. And it is a little hard for me to be confident heading into the Mets series just because of what I saw. Obviously, we have been playing well the past couple of games, but I mean, this is the same team that lost, 2 or 3 to the Pirates. God bless you. And it's just, I mean, I don't know if it's playing down to the competition, but like, I can't see this team, even if we make the playoffs, at least right now, just like if we're barely able to get one game off of the Pirates, it's just not. And I understand there's 162 games. Drew always says, like, why would you worry about one game in a 162 game season? And granted, well, obviously, because I just watched it, I just saw it, so that's why I'm worried about it. But but I guess
the Pirates. I mean, the Phillies. They always play down to their opponents, and then
it's a Philly team thing.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they did against the Padres. Like I'm pretty sure they won that series. They played up. I mean, they didn't play well, but they played up to their competition, and they played down to the worst team in the baseball. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's back and forth with this team. I mean, they are literally a 500 team. That's just what they are. They're a 500 team, but a 500 team wins the division, or slightly above 500 team wins this division, straight up.
What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on in sports right now in our divisions? We've got the Eagles, like we had a 7-9 division champ last year, and then now we're looking at a 500 win team to win the division this year in the NL East. It's weird. It's weird, but and that's also what's kind of fucked up, because I just kind of wish that there was a team running away with the division. So then the Phillies clearly had to be like, all right, we're not making the playoffs. We need to do something to make the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that, they're able to. Here's the thing. If John Middleton can sit on his hands, like, it's kind of like as far as you can lean forward with your hands behind your back. There's a point he has to put his hands out and keep his face from hitting the ground. But we haven't reached that point yet. He's just kind of teetering like this. And I'm just waiting for him to fall and smack his face on the ground. I'm waiting for it. And it hasn't happened because our division is horrible. You see DeGrom get hurt. That keeps the door open. That goes, Middleton in his head goes, all right, we don't need to get another pitcher. Dave, don't spend any money on that. And he's like, I'm going to get one. I'm going to get at least one. But outside of that, like, there's just so many other issues the team had that we just didn't, address because of this, shitty division that we're playing in, for lack of a better word. I mean, there are better words, but I'm lacking them right now. What's going on? You all right, bud?
God. What
happened?
Uh-oh. I think my computer froze for a sec there. My Wi-Fi.
Are you good?
It's not great.
Are you good now? Can you hear me at all?
You're frozen on my screen, but if you can hear me, I can
hear you. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
we're still going.
This is brutal stuff.
That's hilarious. But yeah, anything Phillies. What else do you have about the Phillies? Anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say you brought up DeGrom being out. Like, he's been injured so much. He's out. He's pretty much out of the Cy Young race, which puts Wheeler at like a really good chance to win the Cy Young this year, which is pretty huge. I mean, I would love for Wheeler to win a Cy Young. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love that. Here's the thing. Funnily enough, I was looking at the Cy Young rankings yesterday on ESPN, and Zach Wheeler was not in the top 10. He was not present in the top 10.
Really?
And I was like, what exactly am I looking at? And of course, I mean, there were some relievers in there, because I guess relievers can do that, and good for them and all. But like, I would say he's definitely a top 10 starting pitcher in the National League. I would put him top without DeGrom. I'd put him top 1 probably. He's absurd. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Even when he's not pitching well, he's pitching well. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I would. My Wi-Fi is so bad, man. I'm sorry.
You're fucked, dude. I'm going to have to fully agree with Bob here.
I feel like Danny.
That's true. At least you're not getting booted out. Sam is down crazy. You're down like Danny Stump said. Yeah, that's well. Sam's not so much in a cave as he is nowhere. He's really and now he's frozen. It's not a bad freeze, and the fact that there are still 5 people in here is surprise. 6 people and they left. Yeah, but it's interesting, and I'm gonna have to go back and cut this out of the episode, which sucks because normally just put it's a live show, just put the John in and move on. Yeah, I'm iced out. I'm talking to nobody right now. I'm just kind of riffing. I'm removing Sam. He's gone. Get him out of here. Banned from studio? No. I'm gonna kick him. All right. So until Sam gets back, we just got a little time to ourselves here. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed. I'm gonna have to go in and cut this out. I'm gonna actually write down 13 minutes is about when this issue started. But honestly, in terms of Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Here's the thing, in terms of the Phillies, the team's not very good. I mean, they're fine. I think they can make the playoffs, but that's only because of the division. And I don't really understand why people on Twitter are so excited about the Phillies. They're like, oh, every other day. I was talking to Seamus G about this. I see once I thought I was out, they pull me back in for the Phillies. I'm like, dude, like, how are you like flipping back and forth on this team every other game at this point? So we're in August. We're still a game and a half back. And honestly, things are going to be fine. I don't know how people do a solo radio show. Some people just come out here and they do it for an hour, 2 hours, and it's not working. It's not working at all. 2 texts from Sam. And here he is. Hopefully, dear God. You left me, Sam.
I think I'm good. I think I'm back now. We'll see how
You're
it goes for the
a
rest of
piece
the
of dude. I just had to
episode.
ramble. I just had to ramble for so long, and I'm gonna have to edit it now. I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to cut it out. You rat.
I know. I was just gonna tell you that. That kind of blows. I'm sorry, but
I was just talking
happens.
about nothing. I was talking out my head. I just had Stumps geeking at me. And here we go. Reese Bomb, 6-3 fills.
Nice. Love it.
At time of recording.
But yeah, I don't know where I cut out, but I was saying that it would be fantastic if Zach Wheeler could contend for a Cy Young, which is pretty cool. But I don't know. We will see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting little race. I do think that if he keeps it up, his name should be in the conversation. But I don't know what the voters want. I don't know what they want. They're such baseball people are so weird. It could be based on nothing. So we'll have to see. This is Sam. Can you hear me, buddy? Jesus Christ, man. StreamYard fucking blows. Did somebody not pay the bill this week?
Am I back?
Oh my God. Yeah, you are back. I don't know how our viewership increased while you were frozen.
Oh man, that was a very delayed response. God damn it.
How we doing?
This is not great.
You there? Like, what's going on?
I'm back again. I don't know what's going on, man. I can't
Well,
I can't go back onto my what I did for the last one was I put it on my phone, but then it said like I got an email from the Verizon people and they were like, yeah, like he used up a bunch of stuff. I was like, oh great. It says next time you try and use your phone for Wi-Fi, it's gonna be slower. And I was like, all right, well that's not gonna work. This is quality content at its finest. I mean,
it really is, dude.
great.
It really is. Can you hear me though? Can you hear me at all?
It's like such a delayed thing. Like you're responding like 10 seconds after I say something.
Penis. I'm gonna give this one more go, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and I'll just go fuck myself. I didn't get dressed up for anything. This is just what I wear. I just wear this every day. Anyways, my normal clothes. The lights in my house are too bright. I can't see a goddamn thing without these. Bob, how you doing, buddy? You still there? Toss this man. He's been tossed, Bob. Dude.
Hello?
Dude. Can you hear me?
Oh, this is so bad, dude. This is so bad.
Yeah. I'm not doing this anymore.
I